Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back. If you're new here, I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. I hope you're all doing well today. We are doing a reading for messages for approximately November 20th to the 30th, so the end of November. I did do a reading before I went on my little hiatus that included the last couple weeks of October and the whole month of November. So, but as we know, things can change every day depending on the choices we make. So, here is a new message. This is water signs. So, we have oracle cards that are for every sign. That's how we're going to start. And then I'm going to do tarot card spread for each sign along with their own animal oracle. So, watch the first part, and then you can skip to your own sign. I'll have the times in the description. All right, so here we go. Approximately November 20th-ish to November 30th-ish is what we're going to do. So I haven't been on here as much because I took some time off to take some classes and got 3 different certifications, and took a little class on a 4th thing to do with tarot, and it was very exciting and interesting. And then following that, my husband and I went on our trip to Vermont. I'm sure some of you have seen the shorts that I posted of the covered bridges and the different things that we did for our anniversary trip to Vermont. So I am back now, and I do want to say this morning, you can all see these dimes here. And for anyone that's new, years and years ago, when somebody said, if you want to know if spirit's around, ask them to show you a sign, like feathers or, I don't know, hearts or a certain color. And I picked dimes because I thought dimes would be more difficult to find randomly, like pennies. You find people drop pennies a lot. So I picked dimes. Over the past few months, Spirit has given me dimes in random places. This morning when I was doing my laundry, I took the clothes out of the washer, and there were 2 dimes in the bottom of the washer. So I added those here. Pretty soon this whole thing may be filled up with dimes. Who knows? Anywho, all right, so here we go. The first card for your overview, I'm using the Healing Waters Oracle Guidebook because Oracle deck, excuse me, because you guys are water signs. The card that came out is Bounteous. Bounteous. Generously given, relationships, and coming together. So the further message from the book is, this card encourages you to appreciate the gifts, bounty, opportunities, and privileges that are in your life. To embrace what you need, but also be generous to others who might not have what you have. To acknowledge and receive the abundance around you, but also share it. To appreciate the simple things in your life, like running water. Yeah. Where water is, life thrives. Where water flows, things are much more alive. Don't hoard and stagnate. Welcome mutual exchanges. Share what you've been blessed with, and watch as everything around you and within you becomes more and more alive. Yeah, so that card is about appreciating what you have and sharing things when you have more, right? And I love that message. Next, Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And the card you have is Co-Create. This builds upon what that other card just said about sharing when you have more. That causes co-creation, right? When you have extra food and you give food to another, you are co-creating high vibrations and high frequencies, right? I love this card. So the oracle's face is down here on that egg. There is an owl on a tight wire and a cheetah sitting on top of like a Greek building, it looks like to me. I don't know what the cheetah has in his paw. It's impossible for me to tell what that is right there. But co-create, right? What can we do to co-create? creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation, right? So you may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yeah. And we want to co-create love and high frequency things, right? Which is why it's building upon the card bounteous, right? Co-creating, right? Helping others, co-creating, raising the frequency here on earth as we walk it, human beings, right? Spiritual beings in a human meat suit or avatar, as some call it. Now, as you're looking at these cards, look how bright the next card is. The card really stands out because these are kind of muted colors, right? This is a beautiful, bright fall maple tree. Generosity. This is a 23, which is a 5. I love it. It has beautiful, it looks like snow almost in the background, or sparkles or fireflies. And there are a couple of rocks, 2 rocks that are together, right? 5s are change, right? You can change today. You can decide to become more generous today. Maple spirit. The spirit of the maple says, be open to receive the bounty of the universe. At the same time, be generous with others and with yourself. A warmth of spirit radiates from you. Share from your heart and receive with an open heart, and success will blossom. Well, all these cards, spirit is never wrong. I am so lucky. My guides are amazing, and they are never wrong in what they do. That's why when I shuffle the cards, I wait for the card to come out. I don't just cut the deck and pull a card. Because all of these cards have to do with co-creation, generosity, being appreciative of what you have, right? I love that. Okay, we're going to move right into the sign of Cancer. And we're going to start by pulling the tarot cards for the sign of Cancer. Hope you're all doing well. This is a great time of year to be generous of spirit, to be generous with food, giving food, because a lot of people, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, don't have the money to get food for Thanksgiving dinner. They're lucky if they have any food on the table at all. We've just gone through a government shutdown where people were struggling, right? So if you have extra money, extra food, even extra time, when you go and volunteer, you're bringing that good energy. You're co-creating with those that you're volunteering with and those that you're volunteering for, right? So that's a good, really, really good message there. Really nice message. There's always somebody who has less than you. That's the truth. That is the truth. Wow, your cards are just flying right out of the deck, Cancers. For the month of December, I am going to do individual sign readings with the coffee cup because everybody seems to really love that. So for December, I'm going to do that. I just have my guides, and I've been talking with them, and they've been talking. Look, that card flipped right over in the deck. Okay, so let's take these in the order in which they came out, and we will discuss. 4 of Cups. Cups, obviously, water sign energy, love energy, nurturing energy, right? 4s, stability or stagnation. You see clearly in this card, something is being offered, an opportunity. This person is sitting by a tree with a book, kind of daydreaming, not really seeing that cup. There are 3 cups here, so stability, right? Stability. That can stagnate if you don't take advantage of new opportunities that come in. And an opportunity can be anything. It doesn't have to be a big one, like a new job or something. An opportunity could be an opportunity to volunteer, since we're talking about that type of thing today, right? So 4s, you just have to be careful. And that first card talking about not hoarding things. And it's also true of your time and energy and effort and where you spend those things, right? Don't get so comfortable that you're complacent, I'm hearing. Then you have the Four of Pentacles, another four. Now, this is what do you keep and what do you give? My guides, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. You guys are amazing. Same line of thought as the oracle messages. This person has a box of pentacles. Pentacles represent the physical things, your money, your time, your effort, your energy. And in this case, he's holding a box. He's got one pentacle in his hand, his or her. I'm sorry. It can be, they made these cards, they could be either or, most of them. So this person is trying to decide, okay, do I keep all of this? Do I share this? What do I do with this, right? Same idea. So this Four of Cups has to do with an opportunity that somebody may be bringing to you. This Four of Pentacles is showing an opportunity for you to do something for someone else, right? Balance, give and take. Next, you have the Star card, or Aquarius. If you have Aquarius placements in your birth chart, then this is definitely telling you that this is your reading, right? So you see how she's dumping her pitchers of water back in. I have this here because she's naked on top and I don't want to get dinged by YouTube. So this is a beautiful card of hopes, dreams, and wishes fulfilled. This person does not have a care in the world about dumping out the water because she knows there's more where that came from. I just noticed there's a little blue jay there. I may have noticed it before, but Spirit is calling that to my attention. And what he's telling me is, I believe, and although I've read the Bible 4 times, I don't have it memorized. There's something in there about that God takes care of the birds and gives them what they need, food, shelter, water. And that's reminding me of that as I'm seeing that blue jay on that card of not worrying, right? That everything will turn out okay. Now, as I say that, it doesn't mean that you could just lay back on the couch and say, all right, I don't have to work or do anything because somebody's going to give me everything. No, we still have to put effort into living on this earth. That's, what it's all about. We're in Earth School. You have the King of Swords. Air sign energy, right? So Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here. This is masculine energy. This is the king is at the top of the suit of swords. He is a master communicator. Often I say I equate this with Aquarius, which is funny because we just had the Aquarian card. So some of you may definitely have either a prominent Aquarius in your life or you have Aquarius in your birth chart. But this King of Swords, he knows exactly what to say and when to say it. However, he can also be very cutting with his words. Sometimes Aquarians have a tendency to be very frustrated when other people don't see things their way or understand what they're saying, right? So we all have traits that are challenging with the sign that we're born under, and that's one of those. So there could be something to do with communication or conversation that's a little bit frustrating for you. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm picking up on. So end of November, there could be some, and remember Thanksgiving is stuck in there, right? It's on the 27th. So it's right kind of in the middle of this 20 to 30 reading. So maybe some of you are going to have a challenging conversation at the Thanksgiving table. Just remember being generous, co-creating, being thankful, being grateful, having the opportunities, to give and receive. Okay. 8 of Wands. Wands are action and passion. They are the energy of the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. This is the card of success. These wands are flying through the air very quickly. So something that you're going to do, something that you have planned is going to happen just like that. And it's going to be done. It's going to be completed is what I'm hearing. So Cancers, you may have something in the works that you're trying to get finished up, trying to complete, trying to do. And that is a successful card. That indicates that it will be successful. Then you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, again, wands, fire, passion, action, Aries, Leo, Sag. This knight is moving. Knights are action, right? They are forward action. This, I believe the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight in the deck. if I remember correctly. So this goes to follow because you have this fast Eight of Wands followed by the Knight of Wands. So Cancers, something is going to happen very quickly towards the end of November, like between the 20th and 30th. I'd love to know what that is. I would love for you to comment and let me know what this reading, how it resonated with you, right? Oops, I'm holding the deck upside down, so let me fix that. Yeah, so opportunities, Aquarian communication energy with the swords and the star. Hopes, dreams, and wishes fulfilled, going along with that Eight of Wands and that Knight of Wands. I mean, wow. I would love to know what it is that you're completing, finishing up, or it could be that you're starting something also, right? I mean, that could definitely be it. All right, next, for your animal oracle, you have the Griffin. This is number 26. Balance, strength, and wisdom, and fight with honor. Balancing strength and wisdom, yes. When it says fight with honor, remember how I said you may have a challenging conversation at the Thanksgiving table? Remember not, how can I say this? People are only coming from their level of awakeness, from their level, their soul awakeness. I mean, I'm not talking about the woke movement. I'm talking about being awake in your soul. So if this happens, Cancers, just stay balanced, right? Balance your strength and wisdom. We talked about balance here with the fours. We talked about balance here with the oracle cards. So yeah, I would definitely say something's going to be happening at the end of November for you. All right, now we're going to move on to Pisces. Peace and kindness. Okay, Pisces, it is your turn for the tarot portion. If you didn't watch the beginning of the video, I go over the oracle cards for water signs at the very beginning. You have Bounteous, which is all about not hoarding and sharing your gifts if you have more. You have co-create, obviously talking about co-creating, right? Raising the energy and frequency. Maple Spirit, generosity, being generous. But I go into those in more depth at the very beginning of the video. So if you didn't watch that, please go back and watch the discussion with those oracle cards. Okay, for my Pisceans, what is the tarot message for November 20th to 30th approximately? Okay, Eight of Swords. What blocks are you throwing up? Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Okay, Pisces, it looks like you may have some challenges with your own thoughts towards the end of the month. And that can sometimes happen because you're a sign that's kind of, you see things through rose-colored glasses sometimes. And you get yourself into situations where, you know, before you know it, it's like, wait, how did I get here? Why did I sacrifice my own happiness or beliefs or what have you for somebody else, and now I've got to figure out how to deal with this situation. This is what Spirit is giving me. So be careful of how much you give to others, Pisces. Be careful of I'm hearing hiding from the truth. I'm sorry, but I have to give you what my guides are giving me. So be really careful about hiding from the truth, right? We don't want to do that. Even if the truth is not exactly what we want or not the best thing, ignoring the truth or delaying dealing with it, I'm hearing, is not going to be a good thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. And then you have the Star, which is hopes, dreams, and wishes fulfilled. And then you have the Eight of Cups, which is an emotional walking away from something. So definitely towards the end of November, there's going to be a few challenges for you, Pisces. All right, Spirit, let's see. But then you have the Ten of Pentacles. So sometimes we have to let go in order to succeed, okay? Sometimes we may be in business with somebody and it's just not working out. We could be at a job and we just feel it's not right. Yeah, you're going to have some choices to make. Okay. Let's take these in the order in which they came, and then we'll get your animal oracle to wrap it up. All right. So remembering that we have the generosity, the co-creation, the not hoarding, but sharing what you have. For you, Pisces, I'm getting that you could be like an overshare, like you're doing too much for somebody else or your job even. I know recently there's been a lot of pressure on me at work. They just keep adding more and more things during my regular job that I'm hoping to leave by the end of 2026. Working towards that financially. But it's just more and more and more, and I keep staying late. My hours are 9:30 to 3:30. I'm getting there at 9 or 9:15, and I'm ending up staying till 4:30, and sometimes 5 o'clock. And I'm like, you know what? I've got to put my foot down. These are not my hours. This is what they hired me for. I need to start leaving on time, because then I get home and I'm stressed out because I've got to get dinner ready and do the dishes and maybe, and so I don't know why Spirit is having me say this, Pisces, but the feeling I'm getting is that you are missing out on joy and happiness in your own life because you are doing too much for somebody else. This is a roadblock that you're setting up for yourself. These are your thoughts. You're in here with a loose chain and a blindfold. You could walk right out of those thoughts. So you may be guilting yourself, Pisces, into doing things for another person, and it's actually weighing you down. So you want to get out of that, because swords are your thoughts and communication. Thoughts and communication, air signs, right? So could be an air sign that's in this mix with you, which would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't know. I was trying to tune in and feel in. It could be true for some of you, but also, this is a collective reading. So everything I say isn't going to resonate with all of you. The Five of Pentacles is a feeling of lack, right? The fives are change. Pentacles are your money and your material things. Money, food, energy, time. And these people are outside of a church kind of holding their hands up like, I need something. This to me is building right on what I said. Like, I'm feeling like you are the church. Somebody sees you as the person who can fix them or give them what they need. Now, in this generosity thing, there is a balance to be had. You can't overgive. Like, if you have saved money for something that you want to do and somebody is like, well, you have enough money, you can do this, you can give it to me, or you can loan me this. Don't do it. Don't let somebody make you feel guilty, right, into doing it. I have been in that situation where I know that a person thought that I was in a position to do certain things. There have been times when I have done it. And then afterwards I was like, geez, now I'm in debt on my credit card because I did and I'm not going to say what it is, but, and then I was like, what the heck? Like, why did I do that? I should have said no. So don't get yourself into that place where you can't say no. Hopes, dreams, and wishes fulfilled. You're not going to be able to refill your pitchers of water if you pour them in the wrong place. This is what I'm hearing. I've never had this message. Never had this message with the star card, ever. This is also Aquarius. And remember how I said swords are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and you may have maybe one of those signs is the person who's either trying to drain you or trying to get you to do something with your money or even your time. It's like a long, long time ago, when my grandson is now 22, I think, going to be 23, or maybe he's already 23. I can't do math right now while I'm in channeling mode, but when he was a baby, he was like 2, and my daughter asked me to watch him for the weekend, and I did. And then she called and said she was going to be back like an hour late or 2 hours late. And I said, okay. Then she called again and said, oh, can you just keep him until like 7 o'clock tonight? And I had to drive an hour to meet her to bring him back. And I was like, no, I can't. I can't do that. And she was furious with me. Later we laughed about it, but she was really mad. And I was like, I have to work tomorrow. Like, I can't stay up all night driving around and whatnot. So sometimes people ask us to do something which is going to deplete us. Like, if I had done that, got home really late, had to prep for work the next day, get up at 5 in the morning, get my son, because my son was still at home, then I said no that time. I said yes the first time because that wouldn't have interfered. It was just a couple of hours. But then I had to draw the line. So boundaries, right? That's what I'm hearing. I have no idea why I told you that story, but it's okay. My daughter and I have laughed about it years later. But anyway, you can't, if you deplete yourself completely, then you're starting from scratch and you're not feeling good, Pisces. Yeah. 8 of Cups. You see all those cups behind him or her? I don't like to say him, or I like it to be generic, like it could be anybody. This person has decided they've had enough of this emotional situation and they're walking on to new horizons. This is not a bad thing. I want to reiterate that. Some people see this and they go, oh my God, is my relationship going to break up? No, it doesn't. It's not that kind of thing unless it is for you, right? This is when you decide that you've had enough of something and you're going to set the boundary and you're going to walk away. Similar, I guess that's why they had me tell you that story, right? My daughter didn't hate me. She was mad for a little bit. She didn't hate me for that. And I didn't hate myself for doing it because I was like, this doesn't work for me. I can't. Yeah, it's Pisces. Wow, this is interesting. And then you have the 10 of Pentacles. So it's very funny to me that woven in here are reminders that you can be successful and have these things. If you're saving up all this money to do something, don't let somebody guilt you into giving it to them for something that's going to make them happy, right? So I'm not saying don't share, but let's say you save $10,000 because you want to go on a trip to Ireland. And somebody wants to borrow $6,000, which would mean that you couldn't go to Ireland. No, the answer is no. Okay. So 10s are the completion of a cycle and the beginning of a brand new cycle, right? And Pentacles are your money, your energy, and your time. So it could be money, energy, or time. And the 10 of Pentacles is falling right beneath the star, hopes, dreams, and wishes fulfilled. This is showing you, as the oracle cards did, the balance between what you give and what you keep. Okay, Pisces? 2 of Wands, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a choice. I feel it very strongly that somebody either already has or is going to ask you to either do something for them that's going to put you in it's going to be difficult, right? Or they're going to ask you to loan them money, which you have, but you have it set aside for a reason. I just feel that. And I know that's not going to be for everyone. And I'm sorry if it makes people mad. I hope that some of this resonated or the oracle portion of the message did. But whoever that message is for about this situation, I feel like they really need to hear it. Also, Spirit is saying they've already been warned by friends or family members about this situation, and they need to hear it from someone else. Okay, so... oh my gosh, please don't unsubscribe because of this one reading, because I absolutely know. It may resonate for a few of you, but it's definitely not going to resonate for all of you. Maybe part of it does, or maybe it does to a lesser degree. Maybe you just needed a reminder that setting boundaries is okay, right? Number 13 is a 4, stability or stagnation, right? The Hare, be quick to adapt to situations. I love it with this message because you may have to be quick to decide that, no, I can't do it. And don't feel guilty. I just keep hearing that over and over. Spirit is saying they need to not feel guilty. We all have to watch out for our own selves. It's okay to give, but not to the point that it hurts us or our financial well-being, right? Or our energy, our spirit, our whatever. I'm trying to think of another example. I had an aunt who lived by herself after her husband died. She was a kind of mentally challenged person, but she was able to live on her own. I would, go and pick her up. This was a long drive. It was an hour and a half. I'd go and pick her up for some holidays and bring her so she wouldn't have to be by herself. This one year, I said, I can't do it this year. Somebody else in the family, and we have a big family, right? French-Irish family. Somebody else is going to have to do it. So somebody went down and picked her up. And then at the end of the celebration, somebody came up, she said, oh, can you take her home? And I was like, I already said that I couldn't do it this time. But I felt guilty, and I said yes. And it put a monkey wrench in my thing. My son was really young at the time. And so now I had to make that long drive at the end of the day when it was going to be dark on our way home. He was fussy. He was also a type 1 diabetic. And afterwards I was like, Lisa, why did you do that? Why didn't you just say no? There's 20 other family members that could do this, but they, I guess I just was the type of person where this person thought, oh, I could just get her to do it. Anyway, don't know why I'm persiflaging and perseverating on and on about this, Pisces, but somebody out there needs to hear it and feel okay about setting boundaries. All right, peace and kindness until the December readings. I will see you then. Okay, Scorpios, it is your turn. As I was shuffling and focusing on your sign, a card flipped over in the middle of the deck, and they said, yes, we want that card. So I kept it there. If you didn't watch the beginning of the video where I go over these oracle cards, because the oracle messages are for all water signs, please go back and listen to the explanation of those. That has to do with co-creation, generosity, not being a hoarder, and sharing if you have extra. Not sharing to depleting yourself, but having a good balance of what you share, right? What you can share. All right, Scorpios. Oh boy, Tower moment coming in. This is for November 20th-ish to November 30th-ish. And Thanksgiving is right in the middle of this time frame, if you celebrate that. Oh boy, nostalgia. That card comes out a lot during holiday readings or readings when I'm near holidays, because we do think back to our childhoods and how we spent holidays with our families. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're having a fantastic November so far. Ooh, the sun. Wow, you have some really, really good cards here, Scorpio. 10 of Cups, Tower, which is a clean slate, kind of. It's not, well, we'll see what Spirit gives me for a message when we get there. But the Tower, oh, being called to action. Oh my gosh. Okay, Scorpios. All right. Unknown caller. Sorry. Ding, ding, ding. That's telling you that listen up. That's my our business phone. My personal phone is on silent, so but whenever something like that happens and there's a ringing of the bell, it's saying listen up. Okay, this is a really good reading, Scorpio. Some changes are going to come in. All right, let's see how Spirit is going. I'm looking up in the corner of the room, and there's 2 ladybugs up there. It's so weird, all these things that want to come in during the cold months. 10 of Cups. This is my favorite card in the deck because it is joy, 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 peace, contentment, happiness. Rainbow, beautiful sunlit sky, bees, butterflies, kitty cats, duck, geese, food, friendship, love even, and a nice modest home in the background. I always point that out. This is not a mansion. This is a very modest home, right? And these 2 people, I think it's two women in this, they're just sitting there having a conversation. It looks like there's a basket. They each have a basket of food. They're sharing with one another, just sitting peacefully in the little pond area, right? This is joy. Whenever I look at the card, it just makes me feel good. Isn't that a good feeling right there? They're just having a grand time, right? Maybe sharing ideas and whatnot. Okay, right after that, so what I'm hearing is you're going to be feeling all this joy and contentment, and then something is going to happen that's going to throw you off balance. Okay, this is not a bad thing. Please, people give the Tower a bad rap. The Tower can cleanse and clear things up and give you a clean slate to work from, right? So big changes. It could be a change in your belief system about something or someone. It could be a huge new job opportunity that comes in for you. And sometimes other people are jealous of that or not happy for us because we're successful. I've experienced that myself. Um, so you're going to feel very calm, content, and happy, and suddenly something happens, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on here, what's going on? Um, it's okay. It's how you handle it, all right? Stay balanced, come from your heart, right? Remember the oracle messages about co creation and generosity. Remember to be in those types of frames of mind. Then you have the nostalgia card. Six of Cups, right? Cups, water signs. You started with your own sign, Ten of Cups. Now you have the six. These two kids, this is so similar to this card, right? The kids are playing. So here we have adults, happy playing, not playing, happy, discussing, joyful, sharing, communing. Then we have these kids playing. There's beautiful sunlight streaming in. Sunlight here. There's trees and greenery in both cards. This is a boy and a girl. There's frogs, butterflies, kitty cats, flowers. So in between this happy family, happy friendship card and the happy children card is this tower moment. Now the happy children card is nostalgia. This could be one of your children coming to you and telling you something. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be for everybody because this is a collective. Could be that somebody comes to you and tells you about a pregnancy that's unexpected. It could be somebody comes to you and tells you that they are gay, maybe. It could be that one of your kids comes to tell you they want to drop out of college. I'm feeling like this has something to do with a family situation, but it's going to be okay. Everybody is on their own path. Remember to stay composed. All right, Scorpio. Let me just see if I can tune in spirit. Is there anything else? This could also have to do with the reading of a will or some property that's left. It's not equal between siblings. So for some of you, it could be that. And for the parent, on the other hand, of the news, they just want to remember their child as a child. But I'm feeling like this is an adult, even if the person that's coming to you with the unexpected pregnancy or whatever, I feel like it's 16 and above. It's not a young kid, right? But it could be a teenager. And what happens when you stay in love and high frequency over a situation? You have the Sun card, right? This is being content even though the situation isn't exactly what you want. Okay, remember that, all right? The Sun card is 19, which is a 10. You started with a 10, completing a cycle and starting a brand new cycle. You have this twice here, okay? So the cycle that's completing could be things that were the way they were are now changing, but you're going to be content and experience contentment. It's going to be okay. I have to give you what my guides give me. This is how I do this. I'm an intuitive reader, and I can't help it when maybe the message isn't exactly what everybody wants to hear, right? I have to give you the message. Okay, you're being called to do something. This is a 20. This is judgment. Now, all of a sudden, I'm hearing, don't be judgy. Don't be judgy. This may not be your own child. It could be a niece, a nephew, or, something like that. I do feel like there's going to be some sort of news coming in, and you're going to really have to keep your composure about it and not be judgmental, because there are people who have been shunned. I don't talk about this often, but I did have a baby when I was a teenager. And my mother called me all kinds of names, slapped me across the face, did not accept that news very well. she did not come to me or discuss it in a loving way. She was angry about her own reputation in the community being, sooted or whatever you say, sullied, and it was very hurtful. We weren't close anyway my whole life, but that really, I just felt like at that point, I was like, well, I've always known that she didn't love me. So now, obviously, I know that for sure. Very sad, right? And so it was very difficult. So I'm just saying, like, don't be like her. If something like that happens in your life or has happened, I don't know, somebody needs this message. I don't know, Scorpios. Somebody needs it. Whatever. It's about news. It doesn't have to be a pregnancy. I was using that as an example, right? Maybe you find out that somebody in your family has a drug problem or a drinking problem, and it's really hard, right? But and you can't go back. I mean, we want our kids to be perfect and happy and joyful and have a perfect life, but it's just not. Nobody has a perfect life, right? Just be there, right? Be there to co-create. Be generous from your heart, okay? All right. And something new. Ace of Pentacles. So this is good. So for some of you that are watching, there's going to be some sort of new offer coming in that has to do with how you earn your money, how you earn your living, or something of that nature. Things are going to change. I have no idea why they're giving me this. A lot of this has to do with somebody being pregnant, because they're saying you're going to be able to quit your job to watch your grandchildren. Okay, I would love to do that. Come on, son, hurry up and have some babies. So I don't know why that message is so strong, Scorpios, but it's not going to be that for everyone, right? Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. The oracle messages, the nostalgia messages, the sun being content even though things aren't 100% the way you want them, being called to do something. With that Judgment being a 20, you're going to have a choice to make, Scorpios, right? Okay. And they gave me all of those messages to share with you, but it doesn't have to be. Your situation may not be about pregnancy or drugs or a job or quitting college or coming out of the closet, but there's something there, right? Eagle 2. This is another choice card. Soar high, lead with clarity and vision. Yes, lead with clarity and vision, right? Because you're the one who can be the leader. You can show love, generosity, happiness, joy, right? Every baby is a gift to the world. And babies that are being born now are being born with a much more psychic and intuitive abilities than ever before. So think about that if it's a baby for you. Maybe the baby is something totally different. Maybe the baby is a new job, right? New career, something like that. But yeah, remember, you have the 10 of Cups and the Sun, right? Those are very happy cards. All right. Peace and kindness until next time with the December Coffee Cup readings. Thank you so much for watching, and please give the video a like.